But I was very interested to try Andromeda's Edge because I'd heard a lot of things that had been tweaked in the system. And so we got to play a 2-player game of this, and I will say it went much better. Obviously, from the rules perspective, there still was one thing I messed up at the end, which there are some of those little cards. You'll probably see them in the pictures here. There's some small font in this game.
True.
And there's the little blue cards that way in little font it says end game. And I missed that because we hadn't
to know.
We hadn't talked about it, and so I just, assumed it worked like all the other cards that, like, whenever you take your people back, you can take these actions. So we had to walk back a few things of like, okay, I think I took these when I shouldn't have, but not nearly as catastrophic as the first game. And we had a nice close game, and I had a hard time remembering Dwellings of Eldervale.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to like compare, but I had a really good time with this.
Yeah.
I felt like whatever little things weren't quite working for me in Dwellings of Eldervale felt like they just kind of like, it was like on that razor's edge. It was like Dwellings of Eldervale was like almost there. And this feels like it got over the hump for me to where I was like, okay, I like this game. It's got such an interesting core thing of kind of this worker placement that you're going out, but your worker placement is like needing to stay connected or using the ranges of your ships. And then your worker placement is also determining like where you might come into conflict with other players or these other NPC spaceship guys that come onto the map. And the combat is like dice. It's like not deterministic.
Yeah.
Though you have a lot of control over it. And I do like the change they made in this.
The targeting.
Yeah, the number of ships plus if you have any targeting effects.
That was a huge change. Yeah.
Yeah, basically makes it... Because the whole thing is like you get to roll dice equal to your number of ships. And then the high... It's like whoever has the highest number.
Yeah.
And so if you face somebody with one ship and dwellings one unit,
and
they get
roll
a six,
they might just wipe your whole
three
thing.
5s and 2 4s, but you'll lose the battle. Whereas here they added this targeting mechanism that the number of ships you have is like your base targeting. And that basically means that none of your dice can roll below that value. So if you have 2 ships...
To a max of 5.
To a max of 5. Yeah. So it never gets completely deterministic.
Right.
But if you have 2 ships, that basically means you roll any ones, you get to keep re-rolling them until they're not ones.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing. Like if you have 3 ships, or I had a point where I got one of my upgrades, one of my special upgrades for like my destroyer or whatever, had like +2 targeting. Well, that's really, really good. I had a battle I could go into everything 1 to 3, I think I was able to re-roll. But there's still a chance, right? Like it still leaves the excitement open of like, if you get all 4s and 5s and the other person gets a 6, like you still can lose.